He placed a bomb in the victim's stomach and connected it to a phone before stitching it under the skin. Then the victim was ordered to sneak into a police station. And when the time came, the phone in the stomach rang, activating the detonator and blowing up the room. The explosion created chaos and distracted the police, allowing the convicted felon to escape. He built a gun with 25 barrels, each firing at once in an attempt to kill the King of France in 1835. You see, he set up this gun in a window and loaded it with over 400 bullets, and when the king came close during the parade, the handmade gun fired, spraying bullets into the crowd and killing 18 people. Miraculously, King Louis survived, and because the recoil broke both of the anarchists' arms, he was immediately arrested and executed. This is a pipe pistol, a secret weapon, developed for the Chief Commissioner of Police in 1940. To fire at the man, first unlocked the chamber and loaded a single bullet. Once the chamber was put back in, the policeman could smoke it as an ordinary pipe, but in a moment of danger, he could flip it over, pull the tiny trigger, and release a bullet from its stem, killing the attacker instantly. A grenade landed right under the soldier's legs during World War II, and another one rolled closer to his team. Instantly, he threw himself onto the first grenade and grabbed the second one with his bare hands. He pulled it under his body, and a second later, both grenades exploded and sent in the air, but his body absorbed most of its energy, allowing his comrades to escape. Soldiers would intentionally glue feathers to their drones. During the Afghan War, you see, when Americans were shooting down their drones, Afghan soldiers discovered that attaching feathers made them look like eagles from afar, so when Americans saw these drones, they thought they were just birds and ignored them, allowing the Afghans to record videos and search for targets. A bullet flew into the head of a French soldier during World War I, but instead of fighting back, the other soldier hid inside a tree. You see, French soldiers intentionally cut down real trees and replaced them with metal copies. With hollow space inside, these trees were 3 meters tall, had a ladder, and were often used as cover for snipers. So, when the enemies were approaching, they would attack them from a tree. He pulled the pin from a live grenade in front of a classroom full of students. You see, the policeman was hosting a safety training lecture explaining how the grenades are activated, but he got so carried away with the explanation that he accidentally pulled the pin while holding a grenade in his hand. Panicked, he released the lever, causing the grenade to blow up, killing himself and injuring several others instantly. The man walked toward the school carrying a vest full of explosives under his clothes. Students noticed something strange, but they got scared and ran, all except one instantly. He walked toward the bomber and grabbed him, making it impossible to enter the school. And panicked, the terrorist pressed the button, setting off the detonator and taking both of their lives. Later, Aziz was awarded the highest honor for bravery, having saved 2,000 students by giving his life. The spy took a pile of bread and filled it with plastic explosives. In 1944, then dressed as a factory worker, he sneaked it into the Nazi arms depot. He repeated this process again and again, until he had 40 kilograms of explosives inside. And when the time came, he connected them to a detonator and left, just minutes before blowing up the entire factory. The robber fired 2 bullets at the policeman's back. While he was riding a motorcycle, the first bullet was headed straight for his lung, and the second could have pierced his heart. But at the same time, the policeman was wearing a backpack. So the first bullet lodged itself in a massive book, while the second hit a physiotherapy ball. That changed its direction, sending it safely away shocked. He sped away from the criminals, and only then realized that the backpack just saved his life. A Vietnamese soldier sank himself into a swamp, along with the RPD light machine gun. His comrades helped cover his head with branches, and he stayed hidden there for days. He did this because, after 2 days, an American general passed nearby, and when the general got close, he fired multiple rounds, killing the entire group. Showed a bomb to a stewardess mid-flight, and demanded $200,000 and 4 parachutes. And when the plane landed in Seattle, he got the money in exchange for 36 passengers. Then he ordered the crew to fly south. And after setting the course, he locked them in the cockpit Nobody knows where, but Dan Cooper then opened the rear stairs, jumped into the dark, and was never seen again. It has an M60 machine gun hidden in the trunk, on a rotating mechanism with the trigger connected to a button on the steering wheel. So, in a moment of danger, the driver would press the button, causing the trunk to open and the machine gun and pop out, and as the gun fires, the mechanism rotates it, spraying hundreds of rounds across a wide area, and taking out the entire gang. As she sprayed the perfume on Kim Jong-un's brother, the nerve agent stuck to his skin. The poison then caused his muscles to spasm, blocking his breathing and killing him within minutes. You see, North Korean agents paid the girl and gave her a bottle, asking her to spray it directly into Kim Jong-nam's face and film it as a prank, but because it contained deadly poison, she was sentenced to death herself. While the agents fled the country with ease, the pepper spray would shoot straight out of the 80. If someone tried to break into it, this happened when the security system detected a hacking attempt, triggering the spray or gas release, and this would disable the robber's vision for up to 15 minutes. Then the ATM would alert the police, leaving the robber with no chance to escape. But the system was prone to glitches and sometimes sprayed regular customers, which is why it never really caught on.